Thierry.
And I'm Andrew Robinson. Today's show is all about art, and you don't need to be able to paint or sculpt to enjoy or even participate in your local community. One local professional is developing the Waynesboro art community. Meet Scott Hershberger.
As the Director of Economic Development for Main Street Waynesboro, my job changes pretty much every day, but a few of the tasks that I take on a regular basis are trying to recruit new businesses to come to town, assisting the businesses that are here. I work with planning community events such as annual car shows, fall festivals, chocolate extravaganzas, different things that bring people to the downtown district. My job is to find these niche businesses, these specialty shops, things that you can't find anywhere other than a downtown, where you've got that friendly customer service, you see people you know, and it's very unique to a Main Street area. And I think the arts has done that. One thing that people talk about with any town is that it really needs an identity, something that people think about. For example, Gettysburg, everybody thinks Civil War. There's a bunch of towns, Hershey's, chocolate. There's something that being known as an arts destination would be a plus for us. A lot of people have good feelings about the arts. It's something that is very popular. People will come from all over to experience. So we conveniently started the Destination Arts Initiative, opening 5 full-scale art galleries in which were formerly vacant storefronts downtown. When people think of art, first thing they might think of is a painting or something like that. And we do have plenty of paintings. If they want to purchase something, they can. We try to find artwork that's, there's very high-end pieces, but then there's also things that are very affordable as well. But we also know that art is performing, so we have music in the galleries every weekend. In the summer, we put music on Center Square, which works because pedestrians passing by or even motorists driving by say, hey, what's going on over there? And they might stop by and hear the music, or if nothing else, even if they're just passing through, it lets them know, hey, this town has a lot to offer. The arts are alive downtown. On a Friday night, you hear the music, you see the performers, you come down, you have a bite to eat, and you make an evening out of it in the downtown. So in a way, we've really tried to recapture what people remember from 30, 40 years ago, and I'm trying to bring it back in a new way. We do writers' workshops, singer-songwriter workshops. We've done magic shows. We've done Korean drum circles. We try to find different ways to reach people through the arts. Downtown is not dead. That Main Street is not, a no man's land where there's nothing to offer. I'm trying to really change people's opinion.
Develop all parts of the artisan community, including craft beer. Main Street Waynesboro is sponsoring the first Waynesboro Brewmaster Beer Festival on May 16th.
Art is not only beautiful, it can also be edible. Tom Calamer introduces us to some art that's sweeter than the rest.
So what really is art? When some hear the word art, they instantly think about paintings, pottery, poetry, abstract contemporary, or even music. But something we can't stress enough is art can be anything. Listen in as one man tells a story of a business lasting over a century filled with love, tradition, and best of all, candy.
My name is John Leos. I'm the owner of the Candy Kitchen, which is the oldest business in Franklin, Washington, Frederick, probably all the way down south. Still privately held. It's the Candy Kitchen. The
business started in 1898 with 2 men selling peanuts in the streets of Baltimore before ultimately settling down in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania in 1902. By 1933, John's father made the trip from Greece to Waynesboro and began working in the Candy Kitchen.
And in 1946, he got a picture sent to him from Greece of a beautiful, charming, delightful young lady. And he said, that's the girl I'm going to marry or I'll never marry.
John's father went to his father to ask for advice.
And my grandfather, being a very liberal, free-thinking Greek, said, it's not up to me, it's up to God and the young lady. And my mom said yes. And my mom came into the business after they got married in 1948, and she started making candy, and she was one of the best candy makers.
So what is it about this business that has kept it alive for over 113 years?
We are the last in the country to still hand-dip chocolates. Everything that you see in the store has been hand-dipped, hand-rolled, hand-cut, hand-poured. So we are kind of unique, and it is a niche market at what we do. We have cocoa beans that go from Africa, they go to Switzerland, and then it's processed, and then we get the finished and refined product here, and then we do our magic here. We use nothing but the finest Swiss couverture. The Swiss are known to be the best in the chocolate business. Everything is made here on the premises in the back room.
But it isn't just hand dipping and special ingredients that make this business special. There's always a little something extra that needs to be done.
At the end of the night, when I leave, every batch and every pot and every copper kettle gets a drop of secret that's been passed down in the family. That is when I give it my blessing to be made with love the next day.
An artist, an enthusiast, and a man who brings smiles to the faces of Waynesboro, John and his store have become icons in this town. So how sure is he that you will love his chocolates? Just ask him, and he will leave you with this.
I encourage people to try everybody else's chocolate. Please do. You'll be back for mine.
The Candy Kitchen is open 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday. You can find it at the corner of the square on Main Street in Waynesboro. For more information about the Candy Kitchen, visit our website, sutvnews.com.
Sounds good. Still to come, art is also music to your ears, and you don't have to be a musician to benefit from this form of art. Also, we will explore the daily life of an artist and the processes involved in creating ceramics. Stay tuned, it's coming up next.
It can be difficult to decide which classes to take, which activities to become involved in, and what major to declare. An invaluable resource at any university is the admissions office. The staff there can provide guidance and information about the various schools in the university and on all the majors the university offers.
Majors are listed right over there on the walls.
Shippensburg University's accredited Communications Journalism program offers many potential career paths. One campus organization to consider joining might be SUTV, the campus TV station. It's open to majors and non-majors alike. Get hands-on experience and training. See where it might take you.
Mostly cloudy skies and a low of 38 degrees with calm winds out of the northwest.
Definitely a wet weekend ahead, but hopefully that doesn't stop you from joining in the fun.
Welcome back to Approachable Art. Joining us now is musician Carlina Delphi for some music insight into music as a form of art. Carlina, thanks for being here.
Hi.
So the first question is, what instrument do you play?
I actually play the flute, and I've played it since the 4th grade.
Okay, and is that an instrument that's easy to learn how to play on your own, or how?
Well, actually, it's really difficult to play the flute. When I first started playing the flute, it was really hard to even actually get it to make sound. So I was really frustrated in the beginning, and I was young. I was probably 8 years old. So I did stick with it.
Okay, and so do you still play?
Yeah, I occasionally pick it up, but I was in the high school marching band and the concert band.
Okay, so now what do you feel is the biggest challenge with playing the flute? Are there any challenges, or have you overcome most of those?
I've overcome most of the challenges. There's always room for improvement, but I think the biggest challenge would be just starting with it and sticking with it, even though you're in school, and high school can be tough.
And has being a musician impacted your appreciation for art? Music as a form of art?
Being a musician has definitely made me realize the amount of time, energy, and practice that goes into being a musician, so I definitely appreciate it.
And are there any specific types of music that you listen to if you're having in a bad mood or something like that?
I normally listen to country music when I'm in a good mood, but if I'm in a bad mood, I like listening to alternative rock and things like that.
Okay, and how has music changed the way you feel about musical arts?
Music has made me understand the journey it takes to become a musician, and it's definitely a form of art because it takes a lot of talent and skill.
Okay, and do you consider yourself an artist because of the fact that you play music?
Yeah, I do consider myself an artist because of the talent and skills I've developed along the way. It's definitely something that takes time, and I've been with it since I was 8, so I have all these years under my belt.
And what is some advice that you could give someone that's just starting out to play music or wanting to play?
Some advice I would give beginners that are learning or even thinking about becoming a musician is to take your time with it and stick with it even though it is difficult at times, and you will make lifelong friends through the process.
Awesome. Well, Carlina, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. And art might seem foreign or challenging to understand, but as Chris Ritter shows us, art is approachable and anyone can appreciate it.
Many communities have an art gallery or two in the downtown district, some in storefronts and some in more creative locations. One local artist explains why they are definitely worth a visit.
When I find out that there's a gallery in any community that I'm living in, that's probably one of the first places that I go. For two reasons. One, because it's a nice place to sort of get to know the community that you're living in. Chances are there's some display of local art. You know, if it's a local gallery like here in Carlisle, you know, it just is sort of like a little snapshot into history, or it's a snapshot of, you know, of another artist's or another person's view of the world, view of the person, view of the town. Or maybe it's a photograph of a place that you remember from when you were a kid, or some place that you're now inspired to go and see. Another reason that I like to go to galleries too is also it's sort of like a temporary escape. You know, I can turn my brain off for a little bit and just enjoy and see what other people see. For those reasons, I think that it's really important, you know, to have a gallery in a community, and why the community benefits from a gallery. I know people joke and they say, oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't come in and appreciate it, and that doesn't mean that you can't try to exercise that creative bone, because art, just like anything else, you have to practice, and the more you do it, the better you get at it.
And Kirsten is pretty good at it. We'll see her make a piece later. But first...
So this is some work that was a part of my MFA thesis exhibition.
These pieces were actually used during the formal dinner for the graduate student exhibition. At Calc, Kristen works in the gallery and teaches classes. She throws a cup for us, but because of the time it takes to throw pottery, the video has been speeded up. First, she gets her hands wet, centers the clay, and gets it warmed up. Then she creates the center hole. After that, she slowly pulls the clay up to height and widens the opening. Then she begins to work on the shape and form of the object. Finally, she removes the excess clay from the bottom and pulls it off the wheel. And there we have it, ready for the kiln.
Okay. So this is our kiln room. This is where we fire all of our work. We have 2 electric kilns that we bisque fire the work, and then we glaze fire the work.
Because of the amount of time and electricity involved in firing pottery, galleries and artists will wait until there is enough unfired pottery ready to go to justify heating up a kiln.
They have their handles, any kind of mark making, working, whatever done on them. So now they're getting loaded into the bisque kiln, which is the first kiln that we fire them in. They get sort of half-baked, I guess is a vernacular way of saying bisqued.
The next piece going into the kiln by a local artist is a bit unusual.
She's a student at Dickinson, and she's made quite a few horse skulls.
Calc has many classes to choose from, including jewelry making and sculpture.
So this side of the studio is the multi-purpose classroom. This is where we have the artworks class, even the night classes for some of the adult classes. But my favorite thing about this studio is, like, when you walk in, you see this wall of possibility, this wall of potential. And it's just so exciting, especially to see the kids come in, because their eyes just light up. They see all the color, they see all the paint.
On this day, the class upstairs is working on something big.
Well, today we're making African masks, like gigantic ones. They're going to be in the Omami Festival in May.
Calc also helps the local community. Some of Kirsten's students made bowls to raise funds that support the local food bank.
Last year I made a bowl for empty bowls, and I've taken like art classes at Calc and made bowls.
For the Empty Bowls fundraiser, donors would buy a handmade soup bowl at the event. They could use their new bowl, or a paper one, and get soup and a piece of bread for dinner. All the money raised helps support Project Share. Students enter college uncertain of which educational path to follow. It can be difficult to decide which classes to take, which activities to become involved in, and what major to declare. An invaluable resource at any university is the admissions office. The staff there can provide guidance and information about the various schools in the university and on all the majors the university offers.
Majors are listed right over there on the walls.
Shippensburg University's accredited communications journalism program offers many potential career paths. One campus organization to consider joining might be SUTV, the campus TV station. It's open to majors and non-majors alike. Get hands-on experience and training. See where it might take you.
Mostly cloudy skies and a low of 38 degrees with calm winds out of the northwest.
Definitely a wet weekend ahead, but hopefully that doesn't stop you from joining in the fun.
Show. Laura Mon is an art student here at Shippensburg University. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's no problem.
What is it about art that appeals to you?
What appeals to me most is probably the emotion put into art. It's crazy to look at something and feel like you know somebody, feel like you know what they're going through. So I think that people who put the most emotion, most of themselves into their artwork are the most successful artists.
What are some things that you like most about being an art student?
I really like that I'm able to do what I love for homework. I really hated doing written homework. I hate math, science, all of it. So it's nice that my hobby I can turn into my career.
Does being an art student force you to utilize all aspects of your abilities?
Yes. Being an art major, you're required to take a bundle of different types of classes. You have to take sculpture, 3D, color, and 2D. You have to take drawing. So you have to be able to do it all in order to be an art major. So I have to use all of my abilities for sure.
Do you think you need talent in order to create something?
No, not at all. Art's about expressing yourself. It's therapeutic. It helps you get your emotions out in a healthy, positive way. So I don't think at all you need talent to do art.
Do you see a difference in the work you create in your free time as opposed to the work you create for a grade?
A little bit in the content. The style of my work stays the same because it's my style, but whenever I'm getting graded, I have a certain criteria I need to meet, so maybe the content's changed a little bit, but mostly it's the same.
How has being an art student affected your overall performance in what you create?
It's helped me manage my time a lot better. I'm able to whip up art in no time now as opposed to whenever I didn't have a deadline for my work. I would just do a little bit here, a little bit there, and now I can do art all in one sitting, so it's definitely changed my concept of time.
What are your favorite tools to work with?
I love drawing most. I came into the art program as a person who draws, but I've kind of branched out, and I tried ceramics last year, and I really love ceramics as well, so probably drawing and ceramics.
Are there any forms of art that you dislike?
I'm not really a big fan of graphic design. I understand that it's a big industry and you kind of need to be able to do graphic design in order to create other types of work, and you can also incorporate graphic design in painting, drawing, and make it mixed media. So I think it's important that I know how to do it, but it's definitely not my favorite.
What are some of the things that go through your head while you're creating your art?
Whenever I'm doing my own art, I'm kind of just thinking about what's going on in my life, my emotions at that point in time. What's running through my head is basically what's happening at that point in my life. But whenever I have a deadline and a certain project I need to do, what's running through my head is what will work best with certain things and how well it meets the criteria and how well it's easily interpretable to others.
Thank you so much again for coming in, but before you go, can we see some of the art that you brought in today?
Sure. This is a drawing I did in my figure drawing class. We're expected to do live studies from actual nude models, and we do that every single day to warm up, and then usually work on one drawing the whole time. So if you take figure drawing, you definitely have to be able to look at nude models and be able to make it into art.
So did you do that all in one sitting?
Yes,
Or-
we actually have a time frame. So I think this one was a 20-minute drawing.
That was 20 minutes?
Yeah. I cannot get this back in here. This is a painting I did for my painting class. This is an oil painting. We didn't have any guidelines for this one. It was kind of a choice painting. So I just started splashing paint on there, and then I kind of tried to turn it into something. I'm really interested in space and the human face, so I try to incorporate both of those in that one.
How long did it take you to make that one?
This one probably took me around 4 or 5 days. Oil paint doesn't dry fast at all, so if you want to do layers, you have to be really patient with the paint drying and whatnot. So awkward. And then this.
Well, that was some great pieces of art that we just saw there. Thank you for joining us this evening on Approachable Arts. See you in a gallery soon. Hey, Erin, how are you doing?
Great, that was really good.
Wasn't it a fun show?
Yeah, it was really fun.